Hey folks, it's Mike here with another video. Basically, I wanted to talk about something quite, quite frankly, because for those who know me, you've known everything that I've been going through. I kind of make it public. I'm very much an open person. I don't tend to leave my gripes about things like inside, and I don't leave my issues out of kind of the public eye. I'm very active on social media, so I tend to talk about things a lot more. And the reason being is I do so because I just don't like to hide stuff. I'm not one of these people who tend to lie and or tend to hide things. And I know sometimes people are like, oh, too much information, but um, now you're probably wondering why I'm rambling right now and discussing this, and it's because I wanted to kind of open up a little bit here and do kind of a video that another one's kind of part of Michael's journey, but also it's a reply to another YouTuber by the name of Mathew Santoro, and I do apologize if I messed your name up there, Matthew. He did a video quite recently called My Abuse Story. He posted it on the 11th of January, then took the video down, then reposted it. Well, he kind of hid it and then reposted it, if that makes sense. And he did so because he wanted to kind of open up about something. And quite frankly, I don't, that it's been assumed that it's the person that he was dating at the time, Nicole Arbour, that did these things to him and abused him. And I want to kind of open up a little bit about male and female abuse. Abuse for some reason when it comes to like the way that we're perceived is that men can abuse women, but women can't abuse men. It's guys are big, they're strong. They use their fists and they harm and they hurt people, and it annoys me about this because throughout most of my life I've kind of been the victim in a sense, and not by any sense of purposes. I don't go around portraying the victim and saying everyone's out to get me and all this and that rubbish. I tend to bring it on myself because I'm very loving, I'm very caring. I open myself up to people very easily, and I wear my heart on my sleeve. It's the way I am. It's who I am as a person, and that's a good thing, but it also can be a bad thing because it opens me up to people who want to take advantage of that. And quite frankly, it's led me down a path where I've had a string of bad luck. When it comes to life, I've had a string of bad luck. I, ended up with someone who I married and we had children, but it turned into a situation where I basically ended up marrying an unstable person. Not naming names or anything because it's not, quite frankly, it's nothing to open up about their details and stuff because it's nothing in regards to them. It's kind of a past situation, but it's something that keeps lingering. um and that's my fault. It's my mistake. I paid for it because I ended up opening my heart up to someone who just, quite frankly, in all good common sense, wasn't right for me, and it led to a lot of abuse, heated arguments. It led to something that then became an issue for my children because they ended up getting the brunt of that. So any mental anguish and anger and anxieties that this person had against me kind of channeled to them. So um, it turned into a situation that, for one, I regret because they ended up being put in harm's way and treated like a piece of shit in a sense because of this individual and the person that she was with. And it hurts. And it's something that really annoys me, angers me, and also something that I'm ashamed of because I wasn't there to protect them. And mostly it was because of the abuse kept going. Me being the victim that I was, I kept going back to sustain more abuse, to get more of this abuse, because I thought I was doing the right thing. I kept making excuses. I kept thinking it was for the kids' sake. Then before that, I was thinking, you know, maybe she'll change. And she didn't. She never did. Because that's not what people in that situation do. They pile it onto you. They make it your mistake. They make you feel like you're the piece of shit. You know, that you're nothing. There wasn't a day that went by where she would tell my friends that, oh, he's an actor. You know, he should give up that pipe dream and start earning me some money. He's a failure. There was times where I'd get smacked around and told that if I ever cheated on her, you know, she would kill me. There was even one time at 5 in the morning I was laying in bed and she brought out a meat cleaver telling me that if I ever cheated on her, she would cut off my, you know, my dick. It's horrifying, but again, I brought it on myself because I kept going back. And that's kind of where the problem lies sometimes. When someone has that manipulative hold on you and they make you believe that you're so worthless, they isolate you, they take everything away from you. Your career prospects, your friends, your family. They make you feel like everything's your fault. And it wasn't. You know, it wasn't my fault. I still get anxieties to this day feeling that I'm the problem. If you go back even further, when I was at school, I had the same thing. I was being bullied, beaten up, treated like crap. Get home, tried to talk to my dad, tried to talk to my teachers. Everyone always used to say, suck it up. You know, you're a man. Do the manly thing. You know, and focus on, you know, if someone hits you, you hit them back. If someone attacks you, you attack them back. If someone says something, you say it back. And it caused a lot of issues. And it hurts. And the problem, I used to think it was all okay, but it's not okay. And now I've got 4 little kids who've been the victims of abuse. And the people that are supposed to be the support network, the majority of them would just come out and say, oh, you know, they need to do this, they need to do that, and it's been alleged, it's never been confirmed. If you see my eldest daughter, she sways back and forth. The fact that she cries over everything and looks like she's about to have a mental breakdown if something's too hard, you can tell that she's a victim of abuse. And for people who are supposed to be supporting us to come back, you know, those who work for the government say, oh, you know, it's fine. They need the relationships. It's not the kids. It's between you two. You hate each other, so the kids are in the middle of it. And I would never do that. I could never put them through that. But I feel ashamed right now, and I feel ashamed because they were treated in such a bad manner, and for the last 5 years, and I didn't know. As a father, I felt like I wasn't doing my job. I wasn't the best dad in the world. I allowed this to happen due to pure ignorance. And I always swore to myself that I would never allow my kids to be in the same situation that I was in, you know, and history has repeated itself. Because I was beaten, I was abused, and then every single relationship I had afterwards, whether they be friends or family, it was abuse. You know, there's only a few people that I know in my life that have ever attempted to try and pull me out of it. You know, my mother, my brother, you know, they've always been there for me. My friends. And that's the thing. You know, I get depressed very, very easily. And it's all because of that shit. And this is the thing that bugs me when it comes to anyone in the world is keep your head up. You know, people, you can take one human being, one disgusting, nasty human being, to wipe that smile off your face, make you feel like you're less than who you are. And basically, they do so mostly because either they're unhappy or they like to be the person in control. And I could never do that to someone. It upsets me to watch people I love and I care about be thrown into this shit. And what I do want to say is, if you're a guy out there and you're being abused by a woman that you're, you know, either someone you're dating or as a parent or even a family member, or if you're being abused by a friend who says that, you know, who treats you like shit and does everything they can to make your life miserable, then they don't love you. If you love someone unconditionally, you would love them for who they are. You would love them for their dreams, their aspirations. You would love them for, you know, their skills, and sometimes for the fact that they moan constantly. You would love someone for all these things that most society call flaws, or for the fact that they don't define themselves by normal conventions, or the fact that they never give up. You would never you wouldn't love someone because they do everything you want. When you control someone and manipulate someone, that's not love. That's basically pushing your own ego, you know, fulfilling your own weird, twisted fantasies by making someone else suffer. And you can't do that. That's not love. We define ourselves by who we are, by what we do, by the adverse conditions that we overcome. And so the next time one of your buddies basically sits there and says to you that he's suffering, or if a guy breaks down and cries because someone has done something to him that has absolutely destroyed him, listen. Understand. Don't call him a pussy because you don't believe he's a real man. Being a real man is understanding who you are and accepting the fact that something has happened and being able to cry about it and realize that you're more important than that shit. Because you are. It took me a while. It took me a long time to realize how important I am. And I've still got hurdles to overcome. And each and every one of you do too. And if anybody makes you suffer, if anyone makes you feel that you're worthless, then they ain't that person. They ain't the one. Love transcends. And just know that if you are suffering, I hold my hand out to you and I say to you, come talk to me. I'll leave my details at the bottom there. There's some charities information there as well. You're not weak. Just because this has happened, it's not weak. Because you are strong, the fact that you've dealt with it for so long and that you've walked away, and that you opened your mouth and told your story. One thing's for sure, I promised those kids, I promised the love of my life, who really does love me. I can see it in her eyes every day, and the fact that she has never had a bad word or has never done a bad thing to me, and how she loves me unconditionally, that I'll always protect them, that I'll do the best in my power as a father, as a fiance, to make sure they stay safe, because it's a really fucked up world that we live in, and we don't need these stupid conventions and basically, male bravado to say that we aren't manly. The manliest thing in the world is, coming out and stating what the hell happens. Don't suffer in silence. Tell someone. It's kind of the one thing I learned from my situation recently. I tell my kids every day, if someone's hurting you, if someone's bullying you, if someone is making you feel insignificant, tell me. Because getting it out in the open, that's your first step. And you're probably wondering why I'm not crying right now or shedding tears, because I'm all cried out. Don't want to cry anymore for anybody else, or for being too stressed, suffering in silence, for feeling that I'm not important. Sometimes it's time to wake up and realize who you are and how important you are to so many people. And to Matthew, if you ever need a friend, my friend, give me a shout. I'd more than love to hear from you, and we could swap stories. But you're stronger than you know for everything you've done, especially coming out and telling people, because even though, it's the internet, there's still people there to listen. So guys, as always, leave your comments below. If you want to basically drop me a line, my details are below at the bottom there as well. And it's just, to let you know that I'll be back. I'll see you again for another video. And as always, see you soon. And don't suffer in silence.